Hey, I'm Dan Brown. Each month, dozens of new albums are released, each with album art. But is it really art? We found an expert to help us take a closer look at some May releases, a renowned author, senior editor for Paper Magazine, and art critic, Carlo McCormick. Thanks for being with us.
Oh, thanks for having me on, Dan.
All right, so first up, we have Born and Raised by John Mayer. And what are your first impressions? What are you getting out of this?
I think that, if you think about what old art direction was like before the age of corporate branding and logos and things like that, that all these elements here, like a watch, would be used as iconography. Someone would be like, well, they're a watch repair shop, or coins might be a bank or something like that. The people actually used those things that way. And here, it's sort of empty signifiers. It's not really about anything except for maybe the fact that he's doing something very retro, and in that way, kind of trying to be roots music or Americana. So that's the way I'd read it.
All right, so here we have Blown Away by Carrie Underwood. Now, is this album art, or is it a glamour shot?
Everything about this is so fake and so constructed. It's sort of the death you get when a board of people holding market surveys make decisions. There's absolutely nothing creative about this, and it's so incredibly fake, I'm not even sure she's real. I think there's been so much airbrushing, so much digital rework here that it might just be pure animation.
So, based off of what you see here, what would you expect the music on the album to sound like?
Something forgettable.
Fair enough. So here we have Tenacious D's new album, Rise of the Phoenix. Anything jumping out to you immediately? Any symbolism here that the casual viewer might not pick up on?
It's the combination of the breasts and the phallic imagery. I'm not sure.
Wait, where are the breasts?
Are those not breasts there?
Oh, wow.
I
didn't even realize that they were.
Or they could just be a ball sack, because that is clearly the most phallic sort of. Oh, should I? Is that right? Sorry.
Stop!
So those are both breasts and a ball sack. Do you think that they're trying to communicate anything by combining breasts and ball sacks?
I think they're pandering to the lowest common denominator, which is a very good way to go when you're doing comedy. This is really, really bad art, but sometimes when something is so horrible, you kind of gotta love it.
So here we have Edward Sharpe and the Magnetic Zeros. What do you think? Is this good art, or is it someone who took a picture of the ocean and just tilted it 45 degrees?
I think this is great. It's a really strong cover graphically. It's very compelling. It's got this kind of vertiginous effect by tilting the horizon line, and yet it's compositionally really cohesive, because it's got that big focal point right in the center. It's organic, it's natural, it's a skyline and an oceanscape, but the colors are all twisted. So it's like it's organic and yet kind of a little trippy, right?
So here we have Santigold's new album, Master of My Make-Believe, and she has described it as sonically eclectic with some epic curveballs thrown into the mix. Do you get that out of this?
This is really phenomenal. Phenomenal work of art, regardless of how the record is. She's taken on a bunch of personas here, right? As her kind of warrior guard, then she's a drag king there, and then in the background, that's citing a quote from a famous painting by Joshua Reynolds, Portrait of an Officer. And very significant for the art world is who actually did that painting, because that's Kehinde Wiley, who is one of the real art stars of the art world at the moment. What he's known for is doing portraits of African American individuals in historical styles and genres. So this is actually a big break for him, because it's the first time he's done a woman. If the record is half as fierce as this cover, it's going to be smoking.
Well, thank you so much, Carlo McCormick, for being our album art critic. For more informative pieces like this, be sure to subscribe to the Fuse YouTube channel.
It's sort of how I imagine most of America is.
All right.
Little New York attitude for you.